All praise to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Racha Kudash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, laboring the word and doctrine, shalom and peace. May that be into the elect of the nation of Israel. I just want to do a quick hit and call it, this is not normal. The place we live, the so-called new normal, under the seclorum, the rulership that we live, this is not normal. It's not righteous, it's not right, and it is going to change shortly. Longly but shortly. It's gonna feel like a long time. Time flies when you're having fun. We're not having fun. As the time's dragging, but it's also like it says it will tarry, or it is tarried. It will tarry, but it will not tarry. Two different Hebrew words. I think it's macha and acha, if I'm not mistaken. But Nahum 3 and 19 says, "There is no healing of thy bruise." And when you read, I'll read up from verse 18. Thy shepherds slumber, O king of Assyria. Now, Assyria was an oppressive kingdom, one that Jacob was in slavery. If you go to 2 Ezra 13, Second Ezra 13 and verse 40, those are the 10 tribes which are carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea, the king, who was king over the Israelites. Well, the kingdom of Israel, if I'm not mistaken. Because you had Hosea the prophet. Let me see if I can find this. Bear with me. Which his name is not Yahawashi, but Yahawashi, meaning deliverance or salvation. I think it's spelled like this in the King James. Hosea. Let's see. There is 2 Kings 17 and 1. In the 12th year of Ahaz, king of Judah, began Hoshea or Hosea Yahawashi, the son of Elah, to reign in Samaria over Israel 9 years. So he was the king of the Israelites, the northern kingdom. So in the time of, I'll read it from the top, or from verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which are carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king. So that in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanasseh the king of Assyria led away captive and carried them over the waters, and so they came into another land. Right, so he took them, the northern tribes, and this is the story. This is the beginning of how they ended up in the Americas, Aseroth. It said, and he carried them over the waters, and so they came into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt, and that they may keep their own statutes which are never kept in their own land. So they were under oppression. They were taken captive, but managed to get it sorted, if you like, until this very last time, the last captivity, which was under Babylon the Great, which is prophesied where the northern kingdom and southern kingdom will both be oppressed together, pursuant to certain scriptures in Jeremiah 50. They would then walk forth to Zion, seeking the Lord their God and David their king, which is what we're doing now. We're seeking to get out of this place, man. So now we've got that context there. Let's go back to Nahum 3 and 18. Thy shepherds slumber, O king of Assyria. Thy nobles shall dwell in the dust. Which dust is symbolic for confusion as well. And when dust, for example, to eat dust, eat confusion. Wherever E goes is confusion, because he is that serpent. Thy nobles shall dwell in dust. Thy people is scattered among the mountains, and no man gathereth them. There is no healing of thy bruise. Thy wound is grievous. All that hear the bruit of thee shall clap their hands over thee. For upon whom hath not thy wickedness passed continually? And America is the modern day Assyria, modern day Babylon, because Babylon was the America of its day, as Hebrew E, Yehuda would have you told, man. And I'm a quote that a lot, Lord willing. So let's get some scriptures on proving that all nations drank of that wine of Babylon. It says Revelation 1 and 2. Sorry, Revelation's chapter 17, verses 1 and 2. Forgive me. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7,000 taught to me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. As to the inhabitants of the earth, the whole of the world is drunk of this, and I mean every nation, even the Israelites. Like it talks about Maccabees, some of the Israelites consented unto them, unto his religion, to worship idols, chapels of idols. So then you see the same thing today. Hellenization, that's when this beast man's rulership started. Let's search this up real quick. In fact, read this first. Isaiah 24:5, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. And so these are all the things that he did, man, and pushed out, and the nations got down with, including some of our people. And that's how we became Gentiles. Why we were born in this captivity, not knowing we were Israelites, for the most of us. Some were blessed and knew that, but that's only a remnant, compared to the rest of us. This is what I was looking for. I had to sort of search around for it rather. So did Greece start Western civilization? This is from the Wikipedia. Take it or leave it. It can get edited, but anyway. For this reason, classical Greece is generally considered the cradle of Western civilization, the seminal culture from which the modern West derives many of its founding archetypes and ideas in politics, philosophy, science, and art. And this is what we teach. We teach that not the civilization, but the beast, meaning the Edomite Empire, started with Greece. Then you have Rome, and then you had the revival of Rome through the NATO and the EU, Babylon the Great, so-called America. But they used to push it a lot. That, it's my school, primary school, the ancient civilizations with Greece. You only heard a bit about Egypt, but nothing about Assyria, Babylon. But Greece was always pushed as like, this is the top. This is the top empire. This is what started it all, and it is for E. It is. That is the start of the beast empire, man. Because you have the 7 heads, which is going to the Greeks, the Romans, the Greeks, the Romans, Germanium Major, Germanium Minor, the Franks, or the French, the Spanish, including the Portuguese, the Iberians, and the 7th was the Brits. And then, like it says, out of the 7th, came the 8th. If I can get that. Revelation 17 and 11, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition. So goeth to destruction. So it's of the 8, but it's a new thing as well, just as it's the 11th horn as well. 10 horns representing the EU. An example I like to use of how the EU 10 horns became many is Britain, is one thing. But then you have England, Wales, Scotland. Then you have Northern Ireland, and in the south you have the Republic of Ireland. That's 5 countries. So you can easily see how 10 would become 20, 30. However many they have today, 32 around that. But this is not normal, man. This is just a little season that he's been loosed, since the so-called Dark Ages, which is when our people ruled Europe. So this is not normal. It will end. There will be a change, but the vision is yet for an appointed time. We'll close out on that, Lord willing. Habakkuk 2 and 3. It says, For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So it will come. There will be a change. Just hold on. Keep yourself, man. And keep under your body, as Paul said. I know I said I'd close on that. But me, I'll go close on this. 1 Corinthians 9 and 27. But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. So I keep disciplined, lest that after I've done this work, and brought other people in, so on and so forth, I myself should get dashed away like that. That'd be a terrible, terrible thing to happen. So you stay girded, you keep your flesh in check, and do what you can do. But anyway, next video, Lord willing, all praises to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Shalom.